welcome back to my channel. Thank you for returning to watch yet another tarantula YouTuber guide. So we will get into this one. So today I have Jennifer's Tarantulas on my channel doing the guides that we have been previously doing with everyone else. And yeah, Jen is another host of the Webbers. I seem to have all the Webbers on this series, but yeah. So yeah, Jen is another one of the Webbers. She is an amazing person. We get along so well, it's unreal. She's literally just as gothic as I am, but for some reason I don't look that gothic today because I have had eye infections this week and makeup has to be minimal right now. So yeah, and I look like a poodle, so enjoy that bit. But yeah, me and Jen are very alike, we're very similar, and I think that's how and why we get on so well. But yeah, she's great, she's a lovely person, and if you do want to know anything, she will heart you and help you out the best she can, which is great because like you don't get that many people actually wanting to help lately. So yeah, so I will let Jen go into her video and I will come back at the end.
Hi, I am Jennifer from Jennifer's Tarantulas. Thank you to Ebbs for asking me to be part of this video. Much appreciated. And let's get on with the questions. I have been in the hobby now for 2.5, almost 3 years. My son got me into the hobby because for his birthday he desperately wanted a tarantula, and at the time I was terrified and that was not going to happen at all. But I watched lots and lots and lots and lots of YouTube. I did a lot of research. I contacted various people to get information, and I decided to take the plunge and go ahead and get him one. And now I have a house full of them, so, and various other different things as well. So yeah, it was my son that got me into it, and since then I've kind of taken it over. I knew that for the first time I opened this little tarantula, it was love at first sight, and that was it. And I knew from then on I was going to do a YouTube, and it's kind of exploded. My first tarantula was at the time it was a Brachypelma albopilosum, now reclassified as a Tiddlycattle albopilosum aragog. I just mentioned before, I'd ordered this from the spider shop, and it came as a tiny little sling. But I opened it and it was so cute. But I had to, unfortunately my son was at school, so I had to open it without him being here. And so I did it, and I was really nervous, but I did it, got it in. But unfortunately by the time my son got back from school, this little monster had buried itself away and we didn't see it again for a couple of months. So that was a bit of a nightmare. But that was my first one, my little aragog, who is now growing quite nicely. My go-to is always going to be So Many Legs and the Spider Shop, and have done from Portsmouth Tarantulas, but in all honesty now I like to just go to the shows and purchase from there. But if I'm going to be buying tarantulas to come to my home, it tends to be Spider Shop or So Many Legs. But I do like to have a mooch, and if offers come through on various things, then because I find the more you're into the hobby, the more vendors and sellers that you find, so things do tend to change. But in the UK, the three are always to go to. It's So Many Legs, Spider Shop and Portsmouth Tarantulas. Not sure it's interesting, but pre-kids and pre-artist and all that sort of thing, I worked for about 15 years in the Spanish islands and as an entertainer, and I was choreographer for a lot of the shows, and I did a lot of the musicals. And my favourite one that I did, I played Javert from Les Miserables in Les Miserables. So yeah, that's my interesting fact. Pre all of this, I was dancer. So yeah, that was me. Okay, this is Hannibal Myocantoscura judiculata, the Brazilian white-kneed tarantula. This is a New World tarantula from the Amazon basin of northern Brazil. It is a terrestrial species, and who looks like it's not the slightest bit interested in eating at the moment. I'll just leave it in there for a second and see what happens. These are relatively unexpected tea. They are New World, so they do have the urticating hairs, which a lot of people can be very irritated with. Me, it hasn't seemed to be bothering me at the moment, as of yet. The life expectancy of a female is about 20 years, 4 years for the male. They are quite a fast-growing species and can reach up to 8 inches on leg span. They are very popular in the hobby because they are voracious eaters and will normally pounce on their prey unless in pre-molt, even though this one is proving me completely wrong today. Who isn't in pre-molt because it has molted not long ago. They can be very skittish, but they more tend to run away than anything else. But they will easily pounce with your tongs if you try and feed them. As slings, they do like to burrow, but as they get older, they tend to come out, and this is normally a really good display species. This is probably the first time I've seen it in its burrow, which is pretty typical. I keep it mostly on a dry substrate, but I do have its water bowl, and once a week I do tend to dampen down a quarter of the moss that is in here to build up its humidity. It needs a humidity of about 65 to 70%. And it is kept at room temperatures. The rule of thumb is if you're warm and comfortable in here, we're comfortable in here. I've chosen this little monster because he was, even though Aragog was the first one I had, within about a week or so afterwards I went to an invert show and I picked up this one and my Hamoria Red, who has unfortunately passed away since then. And I just fell in love with him. I love the colours. Maybe it's my inner gothic bits talking here, but I don't know what it is. I just had an affinity for this guy, and I'll try and see if I can get this locust out and try him again when he's out. Not at all interested in food today. I was seriously hoping that we could get you a nice feeding shot today, but unfortunately it's not. It's the way it goes, isn't it? So, but this is Hannibal. He is one of my favourite. I hope that she's actually a girl. I love this tarantula, always have, no idea why, because it hates me most of the time. But yep, that is my baby Hannibal. And thank you, Ebbs, for letting me be in this series, and hope you enjoyed the video. Bye. So that is my Acanthus giculatus. I hope you enjoyed that. And once again, thank you to Ebbs for having me on the series. If you like what you see, go over and check out my channel. And thanks again, Ebbs. Kisses.
So, Jen chose an agent. Jen, yeah. Anyway, so, yeah. I know these are very popular with people, but I am not the biggest fan of agents. If you've seen anything that I've spoken about before now, like lives and stuff like that, you will know that I am not particularly a big fan of agents. Although they didn't really make my top 5s. Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of agents, just because when I had one, it was the devil. And yes, I know I'm gothic and all this stuff, and devils are great, yeah. But this agent, I am not joking, wanted to eat me. Every time I opened the tub, it would run at me, and it would not run at me nicely. It had its fangs out and everything, and yeah, me and this agent didn't get on. So unfortunately, I actually did sell this agent just because I felt I wasn't the right person to keep that. So I sold it on, and as far as I know, that person still got it. So yeah. So I would just like to say a massive thank you to Jen for doing this for me. And again, if you haven't checked her out, go check her out and subscribe, comment, everything. Just give her support because she deserves it. And also, again, check out the Webbers. And I'm not sure whose channel it is on this week coming. I will put it on the screen anyway. But yeah. So thank you, and I will see you in the comments and next week.